But the girls, how you doing? Let's do another pick a card. Today is going to be what are they waiting for? So that could be triggering. So stay cool. Don't try. Don't be triggered. It's easy to say. It's not always easy to do. Axelle, come on. Yes, indeed. Okay, I put the glues today. Here we go. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Bar number 1. What are they waiting for? 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. Well, I was going to say, first of all, they're frustrated. And you might be very frustrated too, because maybe you're waiting on each other. And that's fair enough. The thing is, as you can see, there's a lot of Wands here. There's a lot of either chemistry or a lot of, or a lot of fire between you two. And maybe that translates in the way you communicate or the way you've been communicating lately. So it could have been a little bit like, as you can imagine, the fire is kind of destructive in some ways, but we're also finishing a cycle of life here. 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands, we still have a bit of ups and downs, trigger each other, hurdles, misunderstanding, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the point where we can let it go. George is here. We let it go because maybe one of you was giving more than the other. And that obviously cannot work. So you may have been frustrated as a result because they were not giving as much. Maybe on their side, they feel like they have a lot of responsibility in many different ways, and they don't have a moment for themselves. So they will have to go to the Ace of Wands afterwards. And that is when we have the I am. I know what I want, and I want to take care of myself. I want to put the oxygen mask on myself. But you have to learn the same thing. Either you give too much or you have too many responsibility in many different areas of your life. You have to go back to the I am, because otherwise you're going to explode, obviously. It's too much, okay? So what they're waiting for, they're probably waiting for that end of cycle of life. And sometimes that's the only thing you can do is just to wait, because the Ace of Wands will come in due time. And sometimes we think we have to be proactive when actually it's not about us. It's about the universe getting ready for us. We are not that clever compared to the universe. Let's come back on Earth. We think we have all the technology, we know everything. We know not much, my dear. So no, there's a lot of things that are decided and it's out of our hands. And we know that. You know, when you meet someone, you're thinking, how comes? What happened there? It was meant to happen because it was orchestrated by something bigger than Earth, whatever you want to call it, God, universe, whatever, you know. So at the end of the day, what they're waiting for is they're waiting for the end of the cycle, or maybe to understand better about equal give and take between people, you know, how you have to give a little bit on each side, 50-50 or something like this. There's a learning curve, as I always say, but if you see here, it's quite clear. I'm going to do one more. There's one step away to get to the Emperor at the end of the day. It's always 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. This is what we have to go through in order to become an Empress or an Emperor. So as an Emperor, they will move towards you because they're frustrated, because they want to move towards you, because, you know, obviously it's not working at the moment, but they're well aware there is an ending of a cycle here. And the cycle have to either end, and is the end for you guys, or end for a new beginning. In my opinion, it's more like a new beginning, because the universe really wants to make you grow to that level of Emperor, Empress. We can be 2 Emperor, 2 Empresses, you see what I'm saying? But that's the point. So you cannot refuse growth, you know, because the universe will make you grow, whether you like it or not. And that is the point of being on this planet, is to have a human experience. So you cannot just say, no, thank you. For certain things, you have to sometimes withdraw and rebuild yourself, fair enough. You know, if you've been bruised, you have to wait for the bruise to disappear. But if the universe wants you to move forward, even if you are hiding in a cave, you will have to move forward. Anyway, what do we have? Finding out the truth crushed me. Yes. So that could be enough to get to this kind of energy, enough, but also could very much frustrate them and frustrate you too. I think it's both sides. I think you both either feel that you give too much, and sometimes it's difficult to forgive yourself. You might forget the other person, but to forgive yourself for believing in someone or believing in something is sometimes the hardest lesson. But that is a lesson never, I mean, that you have to learn regardless, okay? Can maybe speak English today. I'm not sure it's Sunday, you know. Okay, my voice is getting deeper and deeper. Okay, let's go. Archangel Uriel. A great spiritual transformation is currently occurring, both in your life and in our world. I think so. This is the union of heaven and earth, spirit and matter. Heart and mind unite in harmonious balance. Yeah. You know, some of you can be more into the heart and others more into the mind. Some people are more into the intuition, but together we can actually, as a group, as a world, maybe we can learn from each other and be complementary to each other. I think that's what the harmony is all about, isn't it? So maybe that's what you're learning within yourself, within your relationship, within your colleagues, and within this world, because really we could do with a bit of harmony, don't we? Anyhow, moving on. So pile number 2, what we're doing, what are they waiting for? I was going somewhere else. Queen of Wands, 9 of Swords, 9 of Cups. Wow. Okay, so what they're waiting for, what they're waiting to finish that moment, which is very difficult. But we're only on the 9 of Swords. We still need to go to the 10 of Swords. And from that, we have the I know what I want and I know what I don't want, the Ace of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is not sleeping so well. We had a full moon, it's true, but I don't think it's about the full moon. Sorry, George is here, very deep voice today. And yeah, it's not sleeping well because we're not at peace. The mind is ongoing. It cannot switch off. Maybe there's so much going on, then it's difficult. And also because I do feel that they recognize you as, I mean, male, female doesn't matter, but the most beautiful, handsome, attractive, luminous person they ever met. And also you're easy to talk to, you understand a lot of things. You know, you don't have an attitude, you don't think you're better than anybody else, you're kind of down to earth. And that combination is fatal for them because they feel like, yeah, they feel at ease with you. And not be in contact with you, maybe, because we're having a bit of a moment here, inevitably, that may be very painful. And it can be for both of you, of course. So the thing is, we have a wish granted. And the wish granted is not to be suffering. The universe doesn't want us to hurt. The universe wants us to thrive. So there is a lesson here. And then we will get to, yes, the 10 of Swords, that it hurts, but that's it. I know what I want and I know what I don't want, and I want you. And I want to be happy as a 10 of Cups coming up after the 9 of Cups. And that is a romantic happy ever after. So I feel sometimes you have to go to the end of the cycle, whether you like it or not. It's not great, it can be difficult. But what you have is a revelation at the end of the day. You have the light at the end of the tunnel. And for them, maybe you were a luminosity at the end of the tunnel. Or you were one light. And they needed light because somehow they were maybe very much in their head for a very long time. And you happened like boom, completely different. You brought a light energy in their life. You make them play, you make them have fun, you make them, oh, you know, just breathe. And they needed that because otherwise there was too much in their head. And maybe they're back still or again in their head as we speak. You bring them love, you bring them sexiness, you bring them fun, you bring them, you know, sunshine, and you telling them, don't think too much. I'm here. Let's just dance. Let's have fun. Let's be together. Let's just have a moment, because it's a wish granted to meet. We are being very lucky to meet, and then we can build the 10 of Cups happy ever after. So what they're waiting for is, I think it's to have that light back, inevitably. Also, they have to make a decision. They're very much in their head, and until they make the decision, they're going to be in their head, you know. But the thing is that decision will happen when it's meant to happen, in due time. And sometimes you can try to solve an issue. You're like, yes, I know I can do this, but you can't find it until it's ready. So yeah, it's a bit struggling. Okay, let's have justice. Yeah, it's about to make maybe your relationship equal, or to make your relation official, or is to sign a contract, or is to buy this house together, or is to marry each other. It's an idea of also being out in the open, maybe as well, you know, because you're someone who like to be free. Okay, you like to just be free. You're a free spirit, possibly, but at the same time, they feel the limitation. with the mind as well, but maybe they feel the physical limitation around them and they have to break free. And it's for them to find a fairness, a balance, justice being made. Because maybe they've been so busy taking care of everything, everyone, all the time, never having a moment of peace. They can't carry on like this. So justice has to be made, and they need to find this balance, not to have a breakdown. Not to have a breakdown. Okay, so they need the light, and look at that, luminosity. That's why you can bring to each other at the end of the day. Beautiful. Okay, so let's have hidden truth recall, because that one is always. Ooh, what do we have? I knew exactly what I was doing. I think in this one, it's like they knew what they were doing, falling for you. I think they might not be in control of it, but they knew that, because I don't see anything negative, because at the end of the day, if there were any negativity, justice would be served anyway. But I think they knew what they were doing, because somehow they wanted to free themselves from that jail. I think they were well aware they're too much in their mind. Everything has to be thought through. Nothing can be spontaneous. And you are very much a queen of spontaneous, or king of spontaneous. That's what you are. So they knew somehow justice should be happening somehow, some way, because it's been spending enough time thinking about other people and not thinking enough of themselves. That is powerful. Very powerful. So let's have the angel card, healing card, whatever, what I'm saying. Compassion. When you show greater compassion towards yourself, the universe automatically responds by showering you with greater blessings. Yeah, this card is coming quite often. Compassion for ourselves. Be kind to ourselves. I think this person is too much in their head. Too much. And what they're waiting for is to wait for finally to be liberated, to be free, to have a more balance in their life, to have more compassion for themselves. But maybe some people need to have compassion for them. Maybe until you came along, giving a lot of love, you have a flower, you want, you just all of that. Maybe they didn't know any other way but this one, which is really dark and heavy. It's heavy, it's 10 sword, heavy. So it's time for justice to be served. It's time for a wish granted. It's time for them to be happy, because they're lingering towards the 10 of cups, happy ever after. So compassion here for themselves and for each other, obviously. So I'm going to stop there before I lose my voice. On this note, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.